guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. It's my July wrap up. Now I did better than I expected. I read a total of 21 books. Because I'm reading it a day or so early, there may well be 22. Because I'm just starting a Julian Barnes short story book, so I can't wait to kind of read that. But I did well, beat myself a bit what I expected, but I know that August is going to be a lot less because it's going to be a lot more challenging. But I'll get started. I did DNF a book. It was called Julie and Julia. It was an audio book. I kind of was running a bit short on internet, so I didn't want to use my internet on listening to an audiobook from the library. And I did find it quite challenging. It didn't kind of get me. It didn't excite me. It was more about food than about writing, than about reading sort of things. Didn't capture me, so it went back to the library. I've got another audiobook ready for August, actually, so that's going to top me up in August. I'm not going to tell you that sneaky peek. I forgot. Ooh. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with my 2-star reads and work my way up the scale. And trust me, I've done really good this month. I've read some amazing 5-star reads. I think I've actually done better than last month, to be honest. So it's going to be a lot harder because my shelves are not going to be a lot more full. So I'm going to start off with a book that I expected a lot more of. I expected a lot more of Sally Rooney, Normal People. It's been all over Facebook, all over BookTube. People have liked it. It was up for an award. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to love it. Picked it up from Tesco's for like £3. Thought it's got to be good. Sadly disappointed me. I really struggled with it. Charlie thinks it's funny because I literally was like, no, I really wanted to like it. It's about Connell and Marianne. They're growing up in a small town in Ireland. To me, it's about the relationship. It doesn't end the way I wanted it to. I don't give spoilers, so I'm not going to go any more than that. But it's quite crude, quite rude, quite down. It tackles some good issues, and I'm not denying that it doesn't do that well. But it wasn't for me, and I didn't enjoy it. So, 2 stars, a charity shop can have this. Now the next one, Confessions of a Jane Austen Addict. I got this because it's Jane Austen July, I thought. And it also reminded me of Tia, because I know Tia is a complete Jane Austen addict. But it wasn't for me. She did warn me. She said, oh, it wasn't really for me. So she gave me a bit of a warning. And yeah, I agree with you there, darling. Really, totally agree with you. Not for me at all. It's about a Jane Austen addict, Courtney Stone. She wakes up and she finds she's in Jane Austen's era. It doesn't give you any explanations how it happened or why it happened. Sometimes that can lead you to things. So you think, oh, might find out a bit more. But the way it started kind of carried on going. The romance was a bit rude. Again, some of it's quite crude again. I found it challenging. The way it portrayed Jane Austen itself at the book wasn't necessarily the way I would imagine her. So I found that quite challenging. It had more holes than it had blooming storylines. I found it really challenging. I'm sorry, guys, if any of you have liked it. Not for me, though, so a charity shop can definitely have this back. Obviously, because I've got so many books, I won't necessarily go into much on each one. But if you look on my Goodreads account, you'll find all the reviews. This one, again, this was my first one in my 3-star book. It went from being 4 stars to 3 because, do you know what? If I wasn't for the fact that I wanted to keep the series because I love the series, I wouldn't be keeping this. This one to me wasn't necessarily about the midwife side of things, which is fair enough, you know, she's got to write about different things. But it was more about some of the hard-hitting things that happened in this. And I was kind of hoping there would be some sunshine, and it really wasn't. It was the 3rd book in the series. We missed out number 2, which is a bit sort of silly, really. That's my mistake, sorry, Simone. We buddy read this together. She struggled with this as well. It tackles a lot more hard-hitting things, like TB, like backstreet abortions, and admittedly her writing's amazing, and I love Jennifer Worth's work, and I can't wait to sort of read the other ones. But it was challenging. I'm hoping that by reading the 2nd one in the series soon, it will break it up and it will kind of make sense a bit more. But yeah, I'm sorry, it really was. I found this quite sad and quite hard work. So sorry, but I do like it. I'm going to keep this because it's in the series. You know me, I'm going to have to go through because I've got so many books I have to work out keeping, going away. Now the next one is 3.5 stars. This is another one that will get kept purely because I'm hoping that once I've read all of Jane Austen's books, it might make more sense. This is literally about a Jane Austen book club. Again, I bought it for Jane Austen July. It was one that I wasn't on my TBR, but I wanted to add it in, and I'm really glad I did. I did enjoy it. It will be getting kept. It tackles, I think, 6 characters that are in this book club, and they talk about each Jane Austen book each time. Now, because I haven't read all of the Jane Austen books, I didn't want to give spoilers away, and I didn't want to necessarily read too much into this, so I found that a challenge. It's beautifully well written, but again, there are sort of some holes in it. I found some bits that I found like it didn't kind of tie up. It was jumping from character to character a bit too much, a bit too quickly for my liking. But it is good, and I certainly would recommend that you read this, but it would probably make it work better if you've read all of Jane Austen's works. So that's another one to be kept. Now, another one here that I didn't enjoy as much as I hoped. And one of the mums at the school said, oh, if you like Sophie Kinsella writing as Madeline Wickham, she'll pick up more. To me, it's nice. I've got another one of her books that I'm going to give her another shot at writing as Madeline Wickham. But it wasn't quite as good as when she writes as Sophie Kinsella, in my opinion, so far, really. Cocktails at 3 is about 3 friends who are very different. They meet up for cocktails every month. Roxanne, Maggie and Candice. It's lovely, well written. It's soft. It's a contemporary. It's sweet and kind. It does tackle some issues, and it tackles them well. It tackles about being a mum and postnatal depression quite well, to be honest, which is one of the things I will give it credit for. But it's a bit too light and fluffy for me at the moment. Not something I would necessarily read again. But like I said, I will give her Sophie Kinsella one more chance of reading as Madeline Wickham. One of the things Clint did say was that he gives an author like 3 goes. If after 3 books they've got them, then he'll try and keep them again. I tend to give like 1 or 2. I must admit, I'll give 2 at the moment. I'm not really as nice as he is. I think that's true in very much case. But now I go on to 4-star ones. Now I am going to have to be a bit tight on the old 4-star ones, whether I keep them or give them away or what, because I've got so many books. But here we go. First 4-star book is Mansfield Park. I loved this. I really enjoyed it. Again, I struggled a bit with the writing, which is why I only got 4. I think it's more like 4.5 because it was really good. It's my favourite Jane Austen book so far. I've got my favourite Jane Austen protagonist so far, which is Fanny. She's lovely. I love her. I love the characters in it. Certain bits, certain people didn't enjoy as much. I buddy read this with Simone and Charlie, and I really enjoyed reading it with them. I found it so hard not to race ahead at certain bits because it is really enjoyable. I definitely think Jane Austen works better when you're buddy reading it or when you're breaking it down slowly, because that way you can really, because you have to really think about the writing, because obviously it's written in that sort of time. So you have to really think about what you're reading and have to check references to what it means, some of the writing in that era. But I'm so glad I read it. I read it for Jane Austen July, and I loved it. Katie, who ran Jane Austen July, she likes this book, and to me that was a really big compliment that I liked one of the books that she does. So I can't wait to read more of Jane Austen. Oh, and a little extra thing. So far, you guys have voted that I read Pride and Prejudice next. So guess what's going to be coming on my October reading? Pride and Prejudice! Yay! Love Jane Austen. Definitely, she's definitely one of my new top one of those authors. Now the next one I have got is a 4-star. Purely and simply, it's a non-fiction book. Should have probably read it for non-fiction August, but I didn't. I couldn't wait. Notes on a Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. It's his book that Charlie lent to me. I liked it. I found it, certain bits, some the chapters are short, which is really great. I probably should have broken it up and read it alongside some fiction books because of that, but it is really, really good. Matt Haig totally sums up how to gives advice about how to cope in a nervous world with anxiety and depression. Certain bits were factual, certain bits I found were more challenging. It is brilliant. 4 stars still to me is brilliant, and I definitely recommend it. I certainly would say if you've got anxiety and depression, pick this up. It might well help, because it's certainly given me some hints how to handle my own stuff in the future. But no more about that one. God, this video is going to be long. The next one, actually, I'm looking at this going, I wrote this. Oh yes, I rated this as 4 stars. Lisa Jewell wrote Truth About Melody Brown. I like this. I really, really enjoyed it. It really is about At 9 years old, Melody Brown has a has a house fire, and it sort of wipes. She's in that, and she wipes all her childhood memories. And this is about her time. Kind of when she gets hypnotized, she suddenly things from her past suddenly come back, and they start to come back, and it's really really good. I think Lisa Jewell is someone I'm definitely going to read all of her books. Not quite good enough to keep, but it was 4 stars. It was amazing. And I loved the mystery in it. I loved the way she pieces together her past and she finds herself. So it's really, really good. This is certainly one of the Lisa Jewell books that I would recommend as a contemporary fiction. She's got it down. She's a really great writer. So well done on that one. The next one, The Diary of a Bookseller. This one got given to me by the gorgeous and lovely Julie from Hungry Bookworm. And I really enjoyed this. My Auntie Julie, who watches my channel, has read this. She's actually met the author, and it's really good. I love the diary entries. It's something you can read alongside other books, which makes it even more amazing, and it talks about running a bookshop. I personally, that would be my dream. Me, Charlie and Simone, when we're older, we are going to run a bookshop. Trust me, guys, well, if we win the lottery, it's going to be our job. I would be in heaven. But I really enjoyed this. This is getting kept and it's getting put on the shelf safe, and I'm going to love it. It's a gorgeous hardback book. Thank you so much, Julie. This is so much for me, and I'm so glad I read this. Guys, if you like books like all of you on this channel do, pick this up. Read it. It's brilliant. Now, there was 2 other 4-star books that I've got on my list. One of them was a library book, The Seamstress by Maria something or another. I can't say her surname. Basically, it was a library book. It is about it's historical fiction / contemporary. It's translated fiction. I read a translated fiction. Wow! Never thought I'd do that. But it was really good. Certainly recommend it if you get it from a library. It's brilliant. Not necessarily good enough that I would buy it, but I'm certainly glad I read it. It varied from being 3 to 4 stars, and it ended on 4 because the ending was amazing, and I was really impressed. I loved it. The other 4-star book was, who guessed it, another Philippa Gregory book. You guys know I love her work. That was The Last Tudor, and that sort of went about the 3 girls, the 3 grey girls, and it went on Anne, it ended on Anne, it started on Jane, and I can't remember the middle girl, but if you know the Tudor, it was brilliant. I loved it. I'm really glad I read it on audiobook. It did take possibly longer than the month, but it was well worth it. I finished it this month, and yet again, I can't wait to read more of it. Apparently, according to Julie, I'm not reading them in the right order. Why does this not surprise me? But definitely pick up Philippa Gregory books. Now, we're going to end on the high now. This is my 5-star books, guys, and I love them. They're all getting kept, I think. And I think I've got certain ones of them that I'm having to lend out to other people because I've raved about them so much. So now I'm kind of leaning across, I'm going to bring them nearer to me. I've not going to have much time to go into things. Like I said, check my Goodreads account out. This one, Nikita Gill, Fierce Fairy Tales. Another one from Charlie that she lent me. I love Nikita Gill's works. She writes so beautifully. Her poetry books are amazing. And look at it. Look how gorgeous it is. It's beautiful. And I love this. Thank you, Charlie, for letting me borrow this. Anyone wants to buy me a Christmas present? Tell you what, Charlie's getting hinted. I want some Nikita Gill poetry. I want some more poetry books. I need to own a poetry book, by the way, guys. No, Charlie's actually... No, sorry, I scrapped that. Simone's bought me one. I've got one down there. Carly's Houdini one. Reading that soon. The next one, again, another one that Charlie's lent to me, Monster Calls. I don't normally cry at books. Yes, I'm soppy. Yes, I'm a wimp. Charlie, I can hear you in the background going, you cry at everything. But God, did this make me cry. It's 5 stars. I love this book. It's got a bit of scary bit with the monster in it. It's middle grade. It is absolutely blooming amazing. If you need a cry, if you don't want a long book, but you want to read a book like this, it's fantastic. I love it. Don't want to give it back to Charlie, but she'll kill me if I don't. So, hi, Charlie. Next one, Little Women. Now, I was supposed to be buddy reading this with some people, but poor Jade's moving house, so she couldn't do it. And I think Bailey jumped ahead because it's so good, and I don't blame her. It is fan-friggin-tastic. I am reading all of Louisa May Alcott's books. One of my sort of family friends, Margaret's going to lend me more of them. I want to pick up all the series for having this. Now, what I don't know if any of you knew, did any of you read the What Katie Did books when they were growing up. If you're about my age or anything, have you ever heard of those books? But she wrote them. I read these growing up, and oh my God, they were amazing. Little Women is fan-friggin-tastic. I'm keeping this. I'm loving it. I'm so glad I found it, and it's never going anywhere. I think at some point Mia will probably pinch it off me. It's that good. Seriously, guys, Little Women, amazing. Not long. Children's book, childhood classic, apparently. Blooming brilliant. Now, this is another one that I have 2 requests to people to borrow this. Mom's borrowing it first, then the lovely Sammy will be borrowing it. This is When God Was a Rider book. Now, you guys know I read Tin Man from Sarah Winman, and that Tin Man is one of my favourite books. This doesn't disappoint. I read it for the Step Up-a-thon, and oh my gosh, I am so blooming glad I did. So thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Linda, for giving me the prompt that meant I had to read this. It's brilliant. It's about siblings, it's about love, it's about family, and oh my goodness, I loved it. Does tackle some hard-hitting issues in there. There are some trigger warnings at the start, so be warned. But please pick this up, guys. If you've not read a Sarah Winman book, get all of her books because she's blooming brilliant. Love it. Now, why is it the next one I picked up is actually the book I've only just finished. The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis. Now, I don't know if any of you know, but actually this is supposed to be read before before The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And it talks about how Narnia began, how Narnia was born, and it's beautiful. You meet the lovely Aslan, which you all know Charlie loves. She had a real thing for him. She really loved Aslan. This is beautiful. The Magician's Nephew is actually the one that kind of goes into the world first. Him and his friend Polly are dragged into worlds of unknown. And there's Thomas again. What is it with him and wrap-ups? And God, you guys have got to pick this up. It's blooming brilliant. If you like Narnia, read that one first if you haven't read them. Now, the next few are brilliant as well. Heartless. I read this with Clint. It is blooming brilliant. I reread this because I didn't like it the first time I read it last year. It is absolutely amazing. Clint, thank you. Again, Nikki and Linda. I read it in the readathon. Guys, this is brilliant. If you've not read a Marissa Meyer book, if you've not read this sort of different books, it's about Alice in Wonderland and how it began and how the Queen of Hearts became the Queen of Hearts. She got my heart in this and I felt for her. I love this book. Oh, and that's another one Julie's given me, so that's brilliant. This one, me and Charlie are apparently sharing because the lovely Nikki got us this. It's a middle grade book. It's about mental health issues. It tackles young issues. Here you can see Thomas in the back. It is blooming brilliant. Another one that was a bit of a week, nearly got me crying. It was so well written. It's brilliant. And trust me, guys, if you've not read this, I just watched a video that Linda did, and she's actually got this. Trust me, Linda, you're going to love it. Yeah. Here in the background, my children. Now, the next penultimate book is The Silhouette by William Ray Middleton. Now, you guys know that I got sent this by the lovely author for me and Charlie to read together. It's got an individual review. If you haven't bought it, why not? Pick it up. It's brilliant. It's about a lovely man who, by the way, sounds absolutely gorgeous from this book, who meets a girl who's hidden behind a veil. She's got her own beliefs about herself, and it's really brilliantly well written. He is a brilliant guy. I talked to him on Instagram. He's going to get a big head by the time I finish talking about him so many times. This is brilliant. Go on Amazon, buy this book. It's one of the best. Charlie is giving it back to me once she's read it. Thomas is being cheeky. It's one of the best books, and that's probably going to go down as one of the best books of the year. Then the last book we end on is Raw by Cecelia Ahern. Now this copy is a signed copy. Simone bought it for me to cheer me up. Charlie's got me a paperback copy of it, and do you know what? I'm going to keep both copies. This is Short Stories by Cecelia Ahern. It's beautifully well written and it's amazing. If you've not read it, why? If you're a woman and like short stories, it kind of inspires. It's about strong women. I'm going to have to end because I'm nearly at 20 minutes. Now, guys, this has been an amazing month. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel and want to, ring on the ding-a-ling. I hope you've liked all this. I've had an amazing month of reading, and this has been amazing. And now it's goodbye from me, bye-bye, and goodbye from Thomas. Speak to you all soon, bye-bye. Bye.